Hello everyone, hope you're having a good day. You might have seen the news that race mods will unfortunately not be coming to console in Baldur's Gate 3, and I wanted to provide some fixes or solutions regarding this because I'm still getting comments that people are unaware that race mods unfortunately won't be able to come to console, and I want to break this down I guess right now just because I've been getting a lot of comments and people are upset to say the least, and it's unfortunate, but consoles do handle mod files a little bit differently than PC does. Now, this is especially true if you play on PlayStation. If you've played like Skyrim or Fallout on PS5 or PS4, you'll know the mods are very slim pickings because there's a bunch of different rules related to that, but there's just some things that don't work due to how consoles select and use files. So there is crashing issues, and I know there's some other crashing related issues with some other mods that haven't been able to make their way over to console just yet because Laren has to test and improve to make sure that these do work on both the PlayStation 5 and Xbox platforms. So I got a lot of different solutions here that we can make better experience for Baldur's Gate 3, because I know some people wanted to play as, let's say, like a Mind Flayer or a Aasimar or a Kobold, and there's a lot of different ways that we can come around and kind of find a different way to do that. So I'll be covering a bunch of different mods here that I've compiled to talk about, just because if there's a will, there's a way. We can make things happen. So I guess the first one I want to talk about is the Ring of Summon More. This mod is incredible. So this is made by TG Lie. Now, what this does, you can see right behind me here, I've been able to assemble the Avengers. So this pretty much gives you 300 different NPCs from the game. So a bunch of different friends here. You got different foes, different planar allies, different companions. You can summon in Orin. If you can think of a character in this game, you can probably summon them in, including different enemies like the buuut and much, much more. I've done a full video breaking down every single summon that this has. And the nice thing is you got pretty much full reign to play alongside these. They all come with their own unique spells. So you can see down here, they have different things on their skill bars. So you can still play with a character, like maybe go with a bard or a wizard that's just playing a support role because they aren't as strong. But if you want to play as someone that looks like Dame Aelin, you can pretty much do it. I do want to just point out that cutscenes unfortunately won't really work out in that manner, but I want to show you some different mods as well that we can make ourselves our own Aasimar or Cambion or Fiend or you name it. There's a lot of ways we can work around this, and there's always more mods being added to the game. So that's one of the nice things about it. But you can see here, a lot of different choice for characters, and you can just play as them, kind of. And I think that's great. Like, you got yourselves all these different divas and stuff. They're actually quite powerful when it comes to the game. So, yeah, this is just one thing I want to start with here. But another major mod is the Custom Companions Light mod by Adrian T. 1978. Now, what this does is you get an item, and with this item, you can create different characters. So you're just going to put a point on the ground there. Now, we can use different things to make this work properly. So you go here, ready to create a custom companion, go yes, and then we get to create our own. You have to leave it as custom, so there are some rules. I just want you to read over this mod first before you attempt it, because again, with any type of mod, there can always be issues. But let's say you wanted to create your own. We'll just go with like a Cambion here. So we got the Tiefling here as a base, and then we can go into editing our appearance. Now, if you got a bunch of different face mods here, you can add a bunch of stuff in. So like this is Mizora's face here. I think this one works very well if you're going to do some type of a Cambion style character. If you got other race mods, you can have them all found right here, which I think is great because this just gives us so many different choices to make a character that you want to play as. So just for example, you can also do this just at the start of the game. It doesn't have to be used with this mod, but just want to kind of show off this as well. Now, what happens here is we can then go ahead with some of the other mods that I want to talk about. So I guess first I'll show off the Blaze, Aelin, and Mizora heads mod. So this is my Playmon here. We also got Dragonborn NPC CC heads. There's a ton of different mods for faces. Lydia's heads here by Playmon. They do have a lot of different mods that are on console. You've probably seen some of these before. So there's a lot of options here to give you something a little bit different. And I also like this mod here, the RS Tiefling Horns mod by Remotely Sane. So you can see here, it adds a bunch of different style of horns that you can add to your character. And then what it ends up looking like is you got a bunch of different ones here, depending on your mods. Now, we can also download mods that gives us even more intense colored horns here. So if you wanted to go with something more, you know, in your face and intense, you got the different options for colors. So there's many different mods that add colors to the game. So you can really get creative with how you want your character to look. And this can kind of look like a Cambion, but there's one thing that's going to finish this off. So we'll just go with this here. I won't get too much into it. You just go to create it, skip past your Dream Guardian, and then once we get into the game, and again, I just want to mention you can do this with your own character. We got ourselves a new companion here, so this is a really fun mod. You can level them up as per usual, and with this we can then go ahead with adding a very special mod, the Ring of Aasimar Wings. So the Wings Unlocked mod here, it's the correct name for it, by Chuloco. So you can see I put this on the tiefling here, and we now got wings. There are a few different wing mods here that can give you wings, and some of them do flap properly when you move around. There's also the Soarin' Ambition Ascended Fiends Wings by Nikjima here, so this is another great one. Dragonborn Wings Work in Progress by Jazz21. You can see there, it matches the color of the choice that you choose, so this is really nice because there's the skin tone wings there, and yeah, depending on how you make your Cambion look, this can work well. I also want to make another mention too that with that exact same mod, we can also go ahead with, so it gives you a ring that you equip on your character, the Ring of Spawning Rings, or Wings, and then you just go ahead here and you got all the different wings here. So there's hidden ones, different choices. So we can just go with like the Eagle Wings or the Fallen Wings if we wanted to create like an Aasimar style race. So there we go, kind of similar. There's different wing styles. You can get the ones that look like Dame Aelin there, but yeah, now my character is somewhat of an Aasimar. I know a lot of people really wanted those, and there's also mods that'll add different types of smites so you can feel powerful as one as well. The nice thing about mods, you can really fulfill that power fantasy. Also recommend using Tactician Enhance if you're going to do something like that. But yeah, Soaring Ambitions, Wings Unlocked. I guess I'll get into summons again because the Ring of Summon more just it has pretty much everything in it. So you can see here all the different summons and stuff. So you can really get pretty creative if you want to play as a spectator. You can role play and pretend that you're a spectator that somehow got a Mind Flayer Parasite. A lot of different animal choices there, different fiends and elementals. Literally everything you can think of in the game. If you wanted to play as a pig or a strange ox, these aren't even race mods that are on PC, so you got that option. So yeah, highly recommend these mods here. The permanent summons as well is a nice one. So this is great if you just want to play with summons. It's not really fully related to this, but I just want to touch on this as well because it makes it so they don't disappear after a long rest. And then the Slightly Deadlier Summons mod by CH. So this just makes some of the base game summons a lot better because they're not always the most powerful thing. Like the Guardian of Faith with 180 health. It makes more sense because it loses so much. So yeah, all of these mods together can be put together to make something pretty special. There's also the Rogue Tattoo mod. So this mod by Dungeons and Souls allows you to put tattoos on your body. This is cool. I wasn't even sure if this would come to console, but you can see here, if you want to add anything like the Githyanki spots, different markings, so you can actually get a very realistic Aasimar here, you can see we got so much customization over how this appears. I really like the body tattoo mod. It just offers something new to the game that I think makes for some great role playing. If you wanted something specific, there's so many different patterns here, as you can see. It's a little bit difficult to see them, but they the mod itself explains how some of them will look like. Some of them are going to be like Gale's tattoo. But yeah, there's so many different options here. So this could work perfectly if you're looking to make like an Aasimar style character. And boom, here we are. We got ourselves a Deva or an Aasimar style character. There's so many different body tattoos, but these can work really great. You can see here, we got ourselves like a Cambion. Now you don't have to use the create a companion mod. You can literally just make your own tab look like this. And it doesn't take too long because with the wings, they actually just occupy like an underwear slot. So they can just all pop up on there. Certain ones will get their own colors to match, but you can see there, we got ourselves a Cambion. We got a Aasimar style character here. These were two of the highest requested ones that people wanted to play as. And there's likely going to be more mods that make this even better as time goes on. So yeah, this is the best solutions that I could find to work around, because I know a lot of people really do want race mods on console, and it's just unfortunately a constraint that's on the console platforms themselves. So yeah, I just want to try and help out the best that I can. If you got any questions regarding this, feel free to leave them in the comments. I try to do my best to help out with some modding issues and all that kind of stuff. So hope you have yourself a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.